Hi everybody. This is a video about me making mistakes when I bought my when I was trying to get into the drift hobby, like RC drift, and I did quite a lot of mistakes, to be honest, as you can see. If I did it right, I would only have to buy like these two right here, like that one, this one, and that one. But because I made mistakes, I'm only human. This is my first drift car that I bought. It is a HSP Flying Fish. Yes, it's called that. It's okay. Like, it doesn't have locked diffs at all. Doesn't even have free-flowing front end. This is shaft driven. It's if you're like new to the hobby, like RC in general, and you've never driven an RC car before and you want to get into RC drifting, this is probably the perfect car for you because it's cheap, it's easy to work on, but it has next to none hop-ups. So that's why it's like on the bottom of the list at the moment. But yeah, this is my first mistake. And then beside it, we have my second mistake. Because I owned a TT01 Tamiya, I thought the TT02 would be better because I thought that the hop-ups from TT01 would fit on this. And as you can see, I still have the hop-up parts from the TT01. But I thought they would fit on this and they didn't, and this just turned out to be a huge disappointment. So basically, if I decide to retire a RC shell, this is gonna be the chassis that it's gonna be on. I'm gonna strip it of all electronics. I probably put like a old servo in there just because then I can play with steering and shit, so it doesn't have to be fixed. So we put that aside. Or I might have to show you stuff too. Again, no locked diffs. This one is locked because I locked it myself. It's really easy to do. It drifts okay. It's nothing that you should put your money in, but if you have like a little kid and he wants to try drifting, then sure, I would recommend this one, because if they don't know about drifting, then they probably won't even know the difference. But that's my second mistake. The third mistake was actually my biggest one. This is what most people buy. It's an HPI Sprint 2. It says on the box drift, but that's just marketing. There's nothing drift about this. You have to buy a shit ton of hop-up parts to be able to drift completely, because there's a fuck ton of modifications you need to do to it to be able to call it a drift chassis or a drift car, whatever you want to call it. Belt driven, not very good. Belt rubs on the motor, and I need to tension the belt apparently because it's super slacky. I added a little hop-up part right there, makes the front fly free. So this is called a one-way diff. Pretty good upgrade if you're gonna make this into a RC drift car. I'm still in the curve of making this into a good drift car, but I just can't be fucked. Like I don't want to fuck with it. Like, it's super hard to work on. It's a bitch to even install this one-way diff because I had to fucking I had to like take apart the whole front. It was a bitch. Sure, there will probably be fanboys out there that's gonna like, oh, it's really good drift car for beginners, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, sure, if you want to go for it, then go for it. It's your own choice. But this is my opinion on it. This is what I think, not what everybody else thinks, because this is just my general opinion, and I've been in RCs since I was 7, so I had a good 20 years or so into the hobby. But yeah, entry level drifter, maybe. If you've never driven an RC car before, then yes. But this is just an overpriced piece of shit in my eyes, to be honest. This is my camera car. It's nothing else. It's nothing important or anything. Now we get to the interesting parts. Oh yeah, did I mention that this is shaft driven and it's a TT02? Yeah. Don't buy it. This is a Team Magic. Team Magic is a brand that I had never heard about before, but that is probably because I'm a bit backwards. No. I have not been living under a rock or anything. Almost. But yeah. This is an ED4 Team Magic drift chassis. This is my girlfriend's drift chassis or drift car because it's her first RC car. She's been borrowing my RC cars and I just don't want her to borrow my RC cars. But yeah, there's no one-way diff at front. But she's a noob, so it's not required. She does have quite a bit of throw. It comes like this, pretty much stock, so you don't really have to do anything to it to be able to drift like a pro. Or it's also belt driven. I don't know if you can see it. It's completely belt driven. Diff, it's locked from the factory. Bit of here, we don't need that. This is just a cable because she runs lights in her body and she made me install it, so yeah. I'm her personal slave when it comes to this, apparently. But yeah, this is a really good chassis or a really good drift car for entry-level drifters that really wants to learn how drifting works. So this is a really, really good entry level. However, this is my baby though. This is a Team Magic ED4 MF. And MF stands for mid-motor configuration, I guess. The motor is placed in the middle. MF, middle, you know. Yeah. Also belt driven. It's carbon chassis based. It's adjustable. It's awesome. I love it. Mad throw. Mad throw. Free flowing diff at the front, one-way diff. Locked diff at the back. This car is awesome. I love this car. Drifting is a privilege when it comes to this car. Again, Team Magic ED4 or E4D. I'm an idiot. Don't tell me that's E4D. Yeah. Okay. So that's an E4D. And this is an E4D MF. I'm an idiot. But yeah, again, I love this car. I am gonna be drifting all summer with this. I'm gonna learn how it works. I am gonna learn how to drift completely. That's my baby. So yeah, I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. Not to make the same mistakes as I did. That is pretty much why I'm making this video. I have this background because there's a lot of crap back there, so you don't want to see that. That's my radio. It is a FlySky FSIT4. You don't really need anything super complicated when it comes to drifting. You can just choose the radio that you feel comfortable with. There's no rules to radios when it comes to drifting. That doesn't have to have like super long range, because you will never use that super long range at all. Because you have to see the car when you are drifting, unless you're doing like FPV drifting, then sure. But yeah. So that is pretty much it. Don't make the same mistake as I did, guys. Learn from my mistakes, please. Because this costs a lot of fucking money and I need to sell half of it. So yeah. I will see you on the flip side, guys. Take care.